Hey, what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Larry with the best credit repair channel, and today we're going to be talking about affidavits. How to use an affidavit. We're going to be talking about how to use it when you're trying to validate debt with a collection company on medical debt or any installment loans, credit cards. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about even using it when you're trying to dispute with the credit bureaus using an affidavit. We're going to talk about this. This is another strategy that you can use when it comes to trying to get the credit bureaus to remove information off of your credit report. And we're going to be talking about this. But first, you know the deal. I always got to say thank you for all my new subscribers coming out the channel. I do this for you. I'm passionate about it. I want to bring you real information. It may not always be what you want to hear, but what you're going to get is always the truth. And that is what should be important to you, right? Somebody that's going to be honest with you and bringing you the truth, so you're not wasting your time on gimmicks and things that are not going to bring you the results that you need. Credit is so important. We can't waste our time trying stuff that don't work when we need to use the system that works to get this stuff removed to build your credit, right? Credit is so important. It is the ability to have the access to money. If you don't have the access to money, you can't grow your wealth. You cannot grow your wealth if you don't have the access to money. You can't buy a home. You can't invest because you're spending high interest on stuff because your credit's bad, and you're making bad financial decisions because your credit is bad. So you want somebody that's going to be honest with you and bring you the real deal. You know the old saying, the real deal Holyfield, going to bring you real information so you can get this stuff handled. So that's what today, this is another strategy. This is also in my master dispute package. If you're interested in my master dispute package, these affidavits are in there to try to validate debt. So it's important. But thank you, all my new subscribers. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel. Come on now, y'all got to hit that like button. For every view, I should have a like button. It may not always be what you want to hear, what you're looking for, but just give me a thumbs up to say, listen, yeah, maybe today it wasn't what I wanted to hear, but tomorrow it may be, and I want you to continue to put out good content. I'm a big believer. Good things happen to good people. Let's be good to each other, right? And I'm just a big believer that good things come to us. You know, it don't mean we live a perfect life and nothing ever bad happens, but good things happen when good people do good things. Just leave me a like. Just say, hey, he's trying to bring us good information, and I want to continue for him to do it. But anyway, let's get deep down into this affidavit. So first time people say, what is an affidavit? It is a sworn statement of fact. So why is it important that you want to use an affidavit trying to send to validate a debt? Because remember, with a collection company, right, they have purchased debt. They don't have all the information. You really want to put them on the spot. And that's why you want to send an affidavit, because you want to put, and we're going to read over an affidavit. So give you an idea what my affidavit said. I'm going to read over some of the main points because we want to put them on the spot. You say that I owe you this money. You say that this is accurate and true. So if it is, what's the problem of you replying to this sworn statement of fact to say that everything I'm sending you is fact, is the truth, and I can put a sworn statement to say you owe me this money, right? If they avoid that, why are you avoiding a sworn statement of fact if you say I owe you this money? If you say this information is accurate and correct, why are you avoiding the affidavit? Why are you avoiding not signing or sending me back a sworn statement to say this stuff is actual, factual, or true? You see what I'm saying? So we have to put them on the spot. Me, I'm not a lawyer, but I want to use this strategy. So if they're trying to avoid the truth and the fact, maybe I need to take them to court, because they're damaging my credit report. They're damaging my ability to secure credit. right? To grow my wealth. You're damaging me, right? And I'm not going to allow you to damage me free of charge. So since I want to make sure if this is the case, then you going to, if you're reporting stuff that's inaccurate, if you are trying to collect money that you don't even have a legal right to, no, I'm not going to let you get away with that. So that is my strategy I like to use. I like to come with something a little bit more stronger than just a simple validation letter. Validation letter, I want to validate this debt. Please send me information that you have. Now I'm gonna go dig deeper because the things that they're doing to damage your credit report is way more valuable than those simple letters. So that's why we're going to talk about a strategy I like to use is affidavits. Use them. And I'm big on affidavits, and I'm going to pull something because that's why I went and got the book, The Law of Affidavits, to learn about affidavits, right? How do I use an affidavit? What types of affidavit should I use? What's the format of an affidavit? It's very important. Like, you always got to go out and get the knowledge. Like I say, I'm a researcher. I'm going to go do the homework, right? So that's why we're going to talk about these affidavits. I'm going to give you a couple examples. I'm going to give you one on a credit, like for one for medical debt and then one for like credit card installment loans and you're trying to validate that. So I'm gonna tell you, read over one that I have. I'm not gonna read over everything because there are really, because I'm detailed like that, they're really 2 pages. You're gonna see me look down because I'm reading. They're really 2 pages of information. So I'm really just gonna go over the first page because it's really the hardest hitting things. So what I do is I start off saying this is an affidavit, a statement of fact. Right, I got the collection company name, the account number, the original creditor name. I start off by saying, come now, collection company name, whoever it is, and the account number, the undersigned affidavit duty, sworn on oath, depose and says that he or she is an officer of whatever the name of the credit collection company. As an officer / agent, the collection company name, he or she has the authority to execute on the behalf of the collection company name and to bind the company's individual to its provisions. The collection company understands all the laws regarding the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act 15 U.S.C. 1692G, the Fair Credit Billing Act, your state Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Section 611, Procedure in Case of Disputed Accuracy, and then 1681I and Section 623, the responsibility of furnishers of information to the Consumer Reporting Agency, 1681 S2B. Yes, because you're reporting this on my credit report. So are you reporting this accurate information on my credit report? These are all things that they need rules and regulations they should be following, right? That's why I'm going to put it in my affidavit, right? So the next thing I'm saying is the collection company understands that verification and ownership, because a lot of these are debt buyers. They're saying that they own the debt. Ownership of the alleged debt is by affidavit. Listen again. Ownership of the alleged debt is by affidavit, sworn statement as per the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act and the FTC that the affidavit must be notarized to become a valid verification of debt. So what I'm telling you, if you're going to send me this information, notarize it as it is a statement of fact, right? Don't just send me something because what it is like I go next door and I just tell my next door neighbor, you owe me $50 and they just give it to me, right? Or I just walk over and say, hey, here go a piece of paper that say you owe me $50 and they just give it to me, right? And if they give it to me, I can't go back and say, hey, no, I'm suing you because you gave me. No, you gave it to me. right? So we get juked on this stuff, right? So what we should be doing, I want them to say, well, if you believe that I owe you this amount of money and it's accurate and truthful, right? Why? What is the problem with you notarizing it and sending it back to me, right? Then I go back and say the collection company understands that they have firsthand knowledge, because when a debt collection company is saying that you owe them something, how do they know that that balance that they're sending you is accurate? In their purchase agreement, and I read this in another video, that banks will say we cannot verify that this balance is actual and true. It is in their purchase agreement. So let me continue to read. The alleged debt in question, the collection company understands they own 100% of this debt by way of a purchase agreement from the collection company name, or has been assigned the debt with an assignment contract. Then I go into next. I say the collection company has been given that purchase agreement to validate that they are the owner of the debt and legally have a right to collect this debt. Studies show that collection companies practice requesting payment on debt they have no legal right to collect on. There's a lot of times they have no legal right to collect on this debt and they're collecting on debts. That's why if somebody calls you and make it seem like they trying to threaten you into pay, or calling you and they ain't even the number, they call you on these little automated things, you try to call back, they don't answer the phone. Man, those people are trying to just collect on a debt that they don't even have a right to collect on. A lot of times these collection companies got zombie debts outside the statutory limitation and still trying to threaten you to pay them. Right? They can't even do that. I've had people call me on something from 2008. Here it is. I'll be like, have y'all lost your mind? Or y'all think we're that dumb to pay you? You aware you can't ask for no money. You can't report nothing. Don't call me again or I'm going to be filing a complaint. And there's a lot of debt collection companies that are not even authorized to be collecting the debt. And if you go to the CFPB, they have a list of debt collection companies that are banned from collecting debt, right? So you got a lot of these companies are out here to scam you, all kind of stuff, right? So I read that. The next thing in here, I said, collection company, since you are claiming I owe your collection company debt, you should have knowledge of this account actively. How interest was applied, scheduled payments, along with any other activities that could affect the balance of this account. Therefore, I am requesting all documents on this debt and the breakdown of this debt. Please, no scan final bills. They try to see these electronic bills. You can tell they're electronic because at the bottom there'll be a little code at the bottom of it that lets you know it's a digitized something that was faxed over to them, right? And then I asked him about the collection company name has verified the statutory limitations on this debt. Sometimes they're sitting around and it's outside the statutory limitations and they're going to send it to you. Like, have you verified that within the state that I'm in? Are you trying to collect on a debt that's outside its statutory limitation? Right? And you should be notifying me that it is outside the statutory limitation and I cannot be sued for this debt. And they should be telling you that. But a lot of collection companies don't tell you that. Violations left, right. They should be letting you know that, right? And then the next thing I say, if the collection company name truly have documentation that can be truth and fact to debt, by responding to this affidavit, you are making a sworn statement of ownership of debt. In addition, have all required documentation to prove the balance requested for payment is accurate. a photocopy is not acceptable in that the Fair Trade Commission has stated that a photocopy or a general ledger is not evidence of a debt. It is not evidence of a debt. And then I go into some other stuff, requesting payment through the mail service. Could be a crime, statutory. Excuse me. The United States mail system might constitute mail fraud under the federal and state laws. People requesting money through the mail, right? Go into it is understood the verification is defined by Black Law Dictionary 6th edition as follows: confirmation of correctness, truth, authenticity, and by affidavit, oath, or disposition. So I break all this stuff down, right, because I want to put them on notice that I am not playing with you about this debt that you got on my credit report. So this is kind of it's a couple of things I missed in here, and then on page 2 there's some other things that I put in there for the affidavit. I fill it out, you go get it notarized, and then you're gonna mail it to that collection company. You're gonna mail it to them, right? Certified mail, so you know when they got it, right? And you can put a cover letter, affidavit, statement of fact if you want to, like push it on them, right? And then wait for the responses that they give you, right? So we're going to talk about another one. So people talk about medical debt. Now I have one for medical debt. Now I need to do a video on medical debt. I know that some things have changed about paid medical debts come off your credit report, but there's still people that have a lot of medical debt on their credit report, right? And they haven't paid it, and they're trying to figure out, how do I deal with these medical debts? Medical debts are the most damaging thing on most people's credit report. That's why they kind of changed the laws of how medical debt can report it. And they don't want it lingering on people's credit report. If it's paid, it automatically come back. They changed it where you can't put it on the credit report unless it's 12 months old. And then they said come, I think, January of next year, that if it's under $500, I think it's $500 or $599, I need to look it up again, that it will not even report. All right, so they're trying to get out of how these people are throwing medical debts. And the reason they're doing that too is because they're throwing medical debts on people's stuff and insurance. The medical people, the medical billing are entering wrong medical billing codes that are denying the medical bills to be paid. And then the medical people or the facility, they don't want to go back and fix it, or they submitted it late. A lot of times these medical facilities are submitting it too late, and then the insurance are denying the claims because they didn't submit it in time to get paid. But instead of them owning up to it, what do? They send the bill to you and say you didn't pay the bill. And then they want to throw it on your credit report, right? So you need to be finding out, why are they throwing this stuff on my credit report? Affidavits is a way that you go about it to see. And we're going to talk about this affidavit for medical debt. So the same thing, we're going to come now, all of that, he or she is an officer. But where it gets changes as the section of the collector understands all the laws regarding the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, 15 U.S.C. 1692G, the Fair Credit Billing Act, your state Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, right? The Fair Credit Reporting Act, Section 611, Procedure in Case of Disputed Accuracy, 1681I, Section 623, Responsibility of Furnishers of Information to Consumer Reporting Agency, 1681 S2B, the HIPAA Privacy Rule, Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, Section 45 CFR, Part 160, Part 162, and 164, and the Model Medical Debt Protection Act, right? So there's a lot more when it comes to medical debt, right? Then we want to go into if a debt collector for a health care provider violates the laws, the patient would have privilege of right to act under State Unfair and Deceptive Act and practice the UDAP law with any associated damages and injunctive relief, right? Then we're going a little bit down underneath that. The collection company name is in violation of HIPAA by charging interest on a medical debt and reporting this violation on my credit report. By charging interest on a medical debt, the collection company name just created a medical bill that is a violation of HIPAA. You cannot be fined. You can now be fined up to $59,522 for a HIPAA violation. So what I mean by adding interest, if it's not a part of your billing, they cannot add interest on your medical bill. It changes it, right? It changes that bill, and you cannot change a medical bill. Right now, you created a whole new bill, which is a HIPAA violation. You cannot do that, right? So there's little things like that you need to understand. And then I go on and say the collection company name, you cannot charge interest on medical debt because the original contract/bill doesn't have interest rates attached to the original contract/bill. The collection company name, you are reporting this violation on consumer's name on the TransUnion credit report, Experian credit report, or whatever credit report. Then I go on and say the collection company name, I'm requesting the EOB. What is the EOB? The explanation of benefits to determine the bill in question. Every medical bill has an EOB, explanation of benefits. Then I go on and say under the collection company name, understand that the verification says validation of the alleged debt is by affidavit, sworn statement as per the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, and that this affidavit must be notarized to become a valid verification, right? And then we're going to say the collection company name, you sent the consumer a bill without a breakdown of the bill to explain the accuracy of the bill, right? So same kind of format we go through with a medical debt. We're going to challenge them. We're going to challenge that collection company name. We're going to challenge, do they have the legal right to collect? They got to have a particular license to even deal with medical debt. Even listen, if you've been to a psychiatrist and your credit report says such and psychiatrist, that is your private medical information. You don't want nobody knowing you went to a psychiatrist. So they are violating your HIPAA. That is part of your medical bill, not your medical bill, but your medical information, your PHI, right? So your private healthcare information. So you definitely want to make sure that they do not violate any of that. You have private information that they cannot violate. But all that's in my master dispute package. All that information is in there. Now, you heard me say earlier, you can use this to validate debt. Not validate debt, but for dispute letters. Yes, you can start off with, this is an affidavit of fact to TransUnion in the reference of the disputes that are listed in this dispute letter. Right? And you can go in and use the same format of an affidavit in disputing. Is this information factual, or are you swearing that this information is accurate? And it's a statement of fact, a sworn oath of fact. Is this information factual or not? This stuff is in my master dispute package. So You can use this in a number of different ways because you're requesting information. You're going to send this off, you're going to get it notarized, and you're going to put pressure on them. So, affidavits is a strong tool to put people on notice that you're not playing when it comes to figuring out the information that you're reporting, the information that you're trying to collect money from me because I didn't enter into any agreement with you, but you're saying that I must pay you, which is I'm trying to figure out how do I owe you when I never entered into an agreement, a system I don't agree with, but it is what it is, right? So, but if they're gonna go that route, we have to make sure that they follow it to a T. That the information they got is accurate, it is true, and they can speak on it. They can say, yes, in November you paid this amount of money. The interest charge that month was this amount, and then the next month you paid this amount. The interest on that account was charged. But if they can't speak on that account that way, how do they know it's accurate? How do they know that imbalance that they're trying to collect from you is accurate? They can't. That's why they don't send you that information. They send you as many of y'all that maybe got a letter from a debt collector. All they sent you was one single final bill that, and sometimes they don't even match up. Be bills with two different amounts on there. They just sending you anything, right? So that's why these affidavits, I love this strategy. It's a powerful strategy. I love using it, especially when I'm validating debt, to bring it to the forefront, to put them people on notice that we are not playing. And if you don't take this off my credit report, if I have to take it to the next level, I'm willing to do it because I'm not going to let you get over on me like that. So if you have any questions about affidavits, if you wanna, this stuff is in my master dispute package. You know the deal. Shoot me an email. If you shoot me an email, you know I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna get back to you. All of those type of things. So I appreciate y'all. This is some powerful information. There's other letters. There's follow-up affidavit letters. There's all type of different style affidavit letters in there. But if you're interested, you know the deal. Hit me up. Uh, get in there. You go to my website. Shoot me an email. I'll get this master dispute package to you. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like, subscribe, and share the channel. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I bring y'all some value today. And I'm out.